Winter Wonderland is returning to Hanford. Winter Wonderland is returning to Hanford this Saturday, November 18th. I'm Emma Ott. Stick around for all the details tonight at 8.
Hudd's Haven is hosting a seasonal depression prevention event tomorrow. I'm up to dispose of the full story coming up.
The Fresno Gun Show returns to town for the second time this year. I'm Shayla Gaitan with MyTV53 News at 8.
Also tonight, we are monitoring a winter weather advisory.
We had a winter weather advisory earlier this month. However, accumulations were much lower than this system.
We'll have that story and many others next in Prime Time.
New, local, unique. MyTV53 News at 8 starts right now.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the San Joaquin Valley's only 8 p.m. news. I'm Austin Reed. It is Friday, the 17th of November. Thank you for welcoming us into your life. Our big story tonight is in Hanford, where we are just hours away now from the annual Winter Wonderland event officially opening for the holiday season. MyTV53's Emma Ott spoke with the city about this today. She joins us from the news center with more in our big story.
The city of Hanford is officially in the holiday spirit. With their twinkling lights, oversized Christmas trees, and ice rink, the Civic Center has turned into a winter wonderland, which is exactly what they are calling it. Hanford's Winter Wonderland opens up tomorrow afternoon and will remain open until January 7th. Brad Albert, a director of Parks and Community Services, says this is their third year back, and this year they've really upped the antics.
We're very excited. This is our third year.
Oh, it's the third year.
Third year, and we'll be operating starting tomorrow all the way straight through January 7th.
Whether you're a fan of skating or walking, there's no shortage of fun for anyone at this year's Winter Wonderland, including a 9-hole mini golf course, carnival games, and delicious food and drink.
It's a venue. It looks like a Rockefeller photo, really. There's 100-year-old buildings surrounding the ice rink. It's just real beautiful setting, and Civic Park really is kind of that cultural and historical heart of our community.
The event drew over 25,000 customers last holiday season, and many of those visitors tend to trickle into downtown, creating great economic development for the city. So much so that the city invited 8 local businesses to set up in the first Wonderland Village. The Winter Wonderland is open until January 7th, but the grand opening tomorrow night really seems like the time to be there. The annual Christmas tree lighting is just one of the many things that will be taking place at 6 p.m. Take a listen.
Of course, we've got all our trees lit up, but this year we have a new Wonderland Village. And Wonderland Village is Tough Shed of Visalia has donated a bunch of sheds. And so we assigned our food vendors a shed and bought a new commercial 14-foot Christmas tree, string lights down to the sheds. It's really kind of an old-fashioned European, like snow on the roofs.
Albert says the program typically lasts about 25 minutes and is very well attended with the vendors on ready. The park does offer skate rentals for all ages. Ice skating tickets prices range from $16 to $18, including rentals and 90 minutes of skating. The ice rink will even be open over Christmas, so after you finish opening presents, it's a perfect place to spend time with the family. I'm Emma Ott, reporting with MyTV53 News at 8. Have a great weekend, Fresno.
All right, Emma, thank you. Have a great weekend. Well, speaking of the holidays, with Thanksgiving in less than a week, many people are hitting the roads even this weekend. AAA is projecting 55.4 million travelers will head 50 miles or more from home over the Thanksgiving holiday travel period. This year's forecast is an increase of 2.3% over last year and marks the third highest Thanksgiving forecast since AAA began tracking holiday travel in 2000. The top 2 years were 2005 and 2019, respectively. Meanwhile, periods of heavy snow will impact the Sierra Nevada in the purple shaded areas here in Fresno County and northward above 8,000 feet. Periods of heavy snow and strong winds are forecast from 4 p.m. Saturday through 4 a.m. Sunday. I spoke with Andy Bollenbacher from the National Weather Service office in Hanford about this earlier tonight.
So we're looking at a winter weather advisory for for elevations above 8,000 feet, Fresno County and northward from 4 p.m. on Saturday through 4 a.m. on Sunday, and that's because snow accumulations of 6 to 12 inches are forecast. So as we go into Sunday and Monday, and then for the rest of next week, just be aware that valley fog is definitely in the forecast. We're getting some rain this week, then we get a ridge of high pressure next week, and those are good ingredients for valley fog.
We will take a full look at your weekend forecast coming up later in this newscast. Other news on this Friday developing from the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. 2 deputies were sent to the hospital after a jailhouse attack. Just before 5 p.m. Wednesday, deputies assigned to the Bob Wiley Detention Facility were completing meal call when they noticed an inmate with jailhouse alcohol. As deputies tried to take the alcohol away, they were attacked by 2 inmates. 5 additional inmates joined in on the attack and made multiple attempts to throw the deputies from the top tier of the jail facility. Luckily, additional personnel arrived on scene and intervened in the attack. The deputies were taken to an area hospital for significant injuries. Now, both were treated as of today and released. They're expected to make a full recovery. The 7 suspects involved in the attack will be booked into custody on fresh charges of attempted homicide. And new tonight from Kings County, deputies are both recovering from their wounds in a night range training accidental shooting that happened late last night. One suffered a shrapnel wound to the lower leg. The other had a shrapnel wound to the upper rear leg area. Both were treated and released. The deputy who fired the round has been placed on administrative leave while the circumstances are investigated. Now, what we know at this point is deputies and peace officers of the Kings County Human Services Agency were at this night range training session in low light settings. After a qualification round, one officer was in the process of dismantling the firearm and could not get the firearm apart. Nobody else was hurt. The investigation will continue. We are following a major national story today. A shooting at a New Hampshire psychiatric hospital earlier ended with a dead shooter and at least one person wounded. A law enforcement official told the Associated Press that other than the shooter, one person was shot in the lobby earlier today. New Hampshire Hospital in Concord has about 185 beds. It is the only state-run psychiatric hospital for adults in the state. The investigation here will continue. Back here at home and all new tonight, happening this weekend in Fresno, a first of its kind event for folks suffering from depression is taking place. Reporter Marcus Esparza spoke with the organizer about this today. He joins us now with the full story.
A depression prevention fair is taking place right here in the heart of Tower District at Hearts Haven. Today we have
William McLean.
And tomorrow's event, tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's a seasonal depression prevention fair. We're going to be having a series of classes and discussions from jazzercise to yoga to EFT tapping and other stuff. We're going to have about a dozen vendors out here selling merchandise from food to spiritual items. There's going to be Reiki healing, tarot reading. Probably going to have some free popcorn out here.
This event will provide tools to help friends and loved ones through seasonal changes that can cause depression and will be hosted from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Hearts Haven, located in the Tower District. This event will have a lineup of classes and discussions, as well as vendors offering services for improvement on well-being, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Things such as yoga and psychedelic healing discussions will be present. Treat yourself with some encouragement and tools to help fight off some of the effects that the seasonal changes can bring. I'm Marcus Esparza with MyTV53 News at 8.
Marcus, we appreciate that. Thank you. This just in from Fresno Police. On Saturday, this past Saturday, the 11th of November, just before 6 p.m., officers were dispatched to the area of Clinton Avenue and Marks regarding a vehicle versus pedestrian traffic collision. The suspect vehicle fled eastbound on Clinton Avenue after striking a pedestrian who was crossing the street on Mark, south of Clinton. The vehicle was last seen entering the ramp onto southbound 99. Despite life-saving measures, the pedestrian was declared dead at the hospital. Collision reconstruction and hit-and-run detectives responded. Now, the suspect vehicle tonight, believed to be an early 2000s white four-door F-150 Ford pickup. It will have some minor damage to the front end, including a missing portion of the front grille. If you know anything, do contact Fresno Police. All new from our partners at Cal Matters. After months of debate and 2 postponed votes, California's utility regulator unanimously voted late last night to overhaul incentives for owners of apartment buildings, schools, and businesses that install solar panels. The new regulations are the second major step that the California Public Utilities Commission has taken in the past year to reduce power companies' financial support for rooftop solar. In December, the commission reduced payments to homeowners who sell excess power from newly installed solar panels on a single-family home. You can learn much more about this at calmatters.org. And finally, in your first few minutes of nonstop news here at 8, the Fresno Gun Show is back for the second time of the year this weekend. Reporter Shayla Gaitan has a preview for us.
Well, Austin, we're here at Elks Lodge where the event will be held, and they seem to already be setting up. The Fresno Gun Show will be held this weekend from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday with free parking both days. With a general admission of just $15, vendors from all over the U.S. will display modern and antique firearms, hunting gear, and even collectibles. The show will be held at Fresno Elks Lodge, and kids 12 and under get in free. I spoke with Oscar Gonzalez, and he tells me that the event is a family-friendly event, and they are expecting a big turnout.
I hope a lot of families. I'll be honest with you. I'm retuning what a gun show is. Before, you would think that it's a bunch of like old men just kind of sitting around smoking cigarettes and talking about old little Western guns and stuff. I promote families. So I actually bring in kids 12 and under. They come in with their family. They're all free.
You can visit AC Gun Radio for more information on events. I'm Shayla Gaitan with MyTV53 News at 8.
All right, Shayla, thank you. Have a nice weekend. That does it for your first few minutes of nonstop news at 8, but don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. Here's what's coming up.
The 559 fights are back in triple digits for Fight 101. I'm Alexis Molina with all the details you need to know next at 8.
UC Merced is going into a new conference and the Bulldogs are back at home. I'm Valentina Saldaña with those details coming up.
Later, we are previewing the Veterans Boulevard grand opening this coming Monday with Councilman Mike Carbasi. And we will have a full look at your active weekend weather forecast. New, local, unique. This is MyTV53 News at 8. Stay with us. We're back in a little over 2 minutes.
This is MyTV53 News. New, local, unique with Austin Reed. You're watching MyTV53 News at 8.
Welcome back, everybody, on this Friday. Happening this weekend, this Saturday night, actually. So tomorrow in Visalia, 559 Fights number 101 is coming back to the Visalia Convention Center. Here's Alexis Molina with more.
The 559 fights are back with another stacked card this Saturday at the Visalia Convention Center.
The fights start at 6:30, but we will go live here on MyTV53 at 8:30. We have 8 fights, with the main event being for the 559 Fights and Camo State Lightweight Championship, with undefeated Blake DeCourcy taking on Tracy's very own Ramon Conejo. The co-main event being Mark Hernandez and Chris Paez. If you've been keeping up with the 559 Fights, then you know exactly who Safula is. The last time he was competing in the 559 Fights, he had a 3-second knockout. Truly unbelievable. He will be taking on Dorian Hill, followed by many more fights that you don't want to miss.
If you're unable to catch the action in person, do not worry, because my partner Jim Cooley and I will be here live on MyTV53 at 8:30. Reporting for MyTV53 News at 8, I'm Alexis Molina Austin. Back to you.
All right, Alexis, thank you so much. Now, quick heads up, local BTV, our app is down right now, so you will have to watch it live on TV53. And we have more sports shorts this evening, from things happening at UC Merced to Fresno State football. Here's Valentina Saldana with more.
UC Merced is making the jump from NAIA to NCAA during the 2025-2026 academic year. The university will join the Division II California Collegiate Athletic Association, in which the Bobcats were unanimously voted on by the CCAA's Board of Presidents. They will be the 13th member of the CCAA, which has the largest enrollment of any NCAA Division II conference. Not all sports will be playing in the new conference, as men's volleyball, men's water polo, and women's water polo will be playing in a different conference. UC Merced is expected to file its application to move into the NCAA by the February 1st deadline. The Bobcats will begin playing CCAA opponents in fall of 2025, but won't be eligible for NCAA championships until the fall of 2027, which is when they will gain active membership into the NCAA. As for football, the Fresno State Bulldogs will be back at home at Valley Children's Stadium this weekend to go up against the New Mexico Lobos.
They're a dangerous team. They have a really good offensive line, physical offensive line, good backs.
The Bulldogs are the 22.5-point favorites to win. Last weekend, the Dogs went up to the Bay and took on the San Jose State Spartans, but took a 42-18 loss.
First and foremost, I'm disappointed in myself.
The Lobos also lost last weekend to the Boise State Broncos, which has made the race to the Mountain West title way more complicated. At the current first place spot sits Air Force and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, with a 5-1 conference record. Fresno State, Boise State, and San Jose State all have a 4-2 record, sharing the second spot. This is definitely going to be a big deciding weekend for the Mountain West. That is all for Sports Shorts. I'm Valentina Saldana. Austin, back to you.
All right, Valentina, thank you much. Have a good weekend.
MyTV53 News continues with the Valley's local forecast.
Escape this feeling with my China girl. I feel a wreck without my little China girl. I hear her heart beating loud as thunder. So the stars crashing. I'm a mess without my little China girl. Wake up in the morning with my little China girl. I hear hearts beating loud.
Follow MyTV53 on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube right now for continuing coverage.
We'll join the city of Bakersfield next Saturday, November 25th, for the 7th annual tree lighting ceremony at Centennial Plaza in front of Mechanics Bank Arena. The event kicks off at 6 p.m. The tree lighting will take place shortly after the arrival of Santa Claus. Officials say don't forget to head inside right after that for the Bakersfield Condors annual teddy bear toss. That starts at 7 p.m. along with the game. And it's time to see what's happening in the world of Hollywood. Our Greek goddess of gossip, Athena Matsikis, has more.
The Grammy nominations are in. I'm just going to name a few because, you know, the list is pretty long. I was actually surprised by this because I love Billie Eilish, but that song, What Was I Made For, from Barbie, that's nominated as Record of the Year. Boy Genius, Not Strong Enough. Miley Cyrus, Flowers, totally deserves it. Olivia Rodrigo, SZA. Taylor Swift, Album of the Year. Many of them are the same. Miley Cyrus, Olivia Rodrigo, Boy Genius. I never heard of Boy Genius. They kind of remind me of, who's a Korean pop band, Austin? BTS.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of the girl version of them. Really like them. They're nominated for a bunch of them, as well as Song of the Year, Best New Artist, Producer of the Year. The list goes on and on. The Grammys will be aired on CBS February 4th. Patrick Dempsey was deemed the sexiest man in the world. It's about time. He's been nominated so many times. Check out the latest People magazine. He's on the cover, obviously. Chris Evans is one of them. The very first one was Mel Gibson. I thought that was cool, little cool history. Paul Rudd is on it. But like I said, Patrick Dempsey is definitely the cover, and he's looking fine as McDreamy. Hush, hush, enough the record and on the QT. I'm Athena, the Greek goddess of gossip.
All right, Athena, thank you. Have a great weekend. Next at 8, we are previewing the opening of the new Veterans Boulevard interchange in Fresno with Councilman Mike Carbasi. But first, here are some fun events happening this weekend. Before we end the week together, the long-awaited Veterans Boulevard SR 99 interchange and corridor project in Fresno will officially be unveiled at a grand opening ceremony this coming Monday. Councilman Mike Carbasi, who serves this part of the city, sat down with me earlier today.
Yeah, very exciting project. So when I first came into office, about that time we got the final amount of funding, the federal build grant. And with that, it was a central theme of my campaign. We're going to finish this project, but this has been 20 years in the making. There are people, my predecessor, people at the county level, they've been trying to make this happen for over a generation. And it's finally going to happen in 2023, next Monday. Yeah, it's the largest public works project in the history of this city. It's a $140 million project managed by Scott Mosier.
Mike and I didn't just talk about that. Coming up on Thursday, so Thanksgiving Thursday, you will see an extended interview. Final look at your forecast. Remember, we've got that winter weather advisory. Tomorrow is going to be very, very active all across the San Joaquin Valley. It looks like we'll get a little bit of a break, maybe Sunday, and then into next week. And that's going to do it for your news on this Friday. I'm Austin Reed, hoping your news is good news. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. Thanks for watching, everybody.